What's going on, everybody? I'm Shy. This is the Dollar Tree. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Yes, timestamps are in the description. All right. Hey, reserve rights. Let's go, reserve rights. Hey, those reserve rights gains. Hey, you guys see Litecoin? Litecoin. Hey, you break $80, you know what's happening after that. Okay. Oh, Sushi. Hey, bullish above $1.10. Go watch the video, guys. Listen, the reserve rights, Litecoin, and Sushi gains demands that you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know when we upload a new video. And in this video, we're going to talk about Vechain. All right, I haven't given an update on my Vechain price prediction, my 100x Vechain price prediction. So we are going to do that this video. We're going to go, we're going to make up some things and draw some lines and use made-up technical analysis to see where we stand with Vechain, and let's go from there. Let's take a look. Okay, here we go. Starting off on the weekly. Wait, what is this round down here? Is this a gap? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this circle right here on the chart for you guys because this looks like a little gap here going on down here. I'm about to see what's going on with this thing right here. But anyway, on the weekly, I think this may be the first time that we actually took a look at the Vechain chart from this perspective since we started doing this on the channel. Anyway, we got a double bottom here. As you can see, that played out, ran all the way up to 2.3 cents. Now we have since retreated. And now let's zoom in and take a closer look at this weekly bullish engulfing candle, which has seemingly at this point been playing out. And if I'm not mistaken, previously when I spoke about Vechain, I spoke about the need to hold 1 cent to remain supremely bullish. You came down below it slightly, but yet, you know, still in all, you bounce. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you'll come slightly below it and immediately people will start picking up the buy orders. The buy orders will start getting picked up and you'll continue higher. Let's go down to the daily. Well, you know, we still could see this gap over here to the left on this screenshot. I'm going to tell you one thing. That gap gets filled in a bear cycle. That's going to be a lot of money for us on the Patreon when we're making money in a down market. Shout out to the Patreon. We are very close to 500 subscribers. Next, we need to get extremely close. But yes, here on the daily, you can see that this circle is still here. And, you know, you've got some good price action in this area. You've got a range that you were trading in that that seemingly is starting to try and break out of at this point. But you can't see it too well here on the daily. So far on the daily, what you can see is that, you know, that support held at around 1 cent and you bounced higher. So let me get rid of this circle. Now, you can also see I've got 2 lines here on this screenshot as well, where the support resistance flip happened and the price started to move a bit higher. Now, I'm still trying to determine, you know, where we stand as far as more of a pullback for Bitcoin. Very difficult to determine at this time high in the market because, you know, we can use Bitcoin as a reference as to where this market is potentially going to go. But the way it's looking right now is some of these select altcoins, strong altcoins, are looking very good. Let's go down to the 12 hours so I can draw this structure for you guys that I've got my eyes set on. Now, on the 12 hour, I want you guys to pay attention to something. You see this larger line, this longer line coming across. You see how much pressure you see, that downward pressure you see on that line? And you can see now from the lower line going up, you see upward pressure, right? That's a flip. All right, that's what I'm recognizing right in here on this chart. You're seeing a lot of downward pressure on this upper line, and then now you've got upper pressure that's been developing, which I'm gonna point out further here on the 8 hour. Let's flip down to the 8 hour so I could draw this structure. All right, down here on the 8 hour, you can see that I drew this kind of extended, elongated, rising, broadening wedge, I guess you could say. I drew it from the candle body. I tried to draw it from the candle body as opposed to the wick. And yes, you've been in this range since, let me take a look here. since the 7th. So that's a pretty good trading range for Vechain. And again, you've got plenty of touches on the upside and plenty of touches on the downside as far as this price remaining stable in this range. You need to bounce though where it is right now. Once we go down to the 4-hour, you're going to see that it came back down to the bottom of this range. And if this breaks out to the upside, you're probably going to look at about 1.3 pennies as far as the target. Matter of fact, let me bring the target up on this screenshot for you guys. All right, so I've got a line sticking up from this wedge, from this range, as far as where you could see the price action go. Now, the longer you stay in this range, that's going to determine where your price target is going to be. So this is very premature right now. Assuming that it breaks out, I've got this line set for the 20th of this month. So if this breaks out on the 20th, 1.4 cent is going to be a target. But if it stays in this range a little bit longer, of course you're going to get a higher target, of course, because it is a rising wedge. Now, let's go down to the 4-hour before I zoom back out and talk about where your price targets are for Vechain, and then I'll talk a little bit about why I don't pull FIB and everything like that as well. But let's go down to the 4-hour. You got decreasing momentum on the MACD as well here on the 8-hour. So that may not be a good sign. You're losing momentum. You got very, very low volume. Let's go down to the 4-hour. Okay, on the 4-hour, you can see this much better now, the range that it's in. And when it comes to the MACD, you're not really gaining any momentum here on Vechain. Kind of dry in the Vechain, for the Vechain asset right now. It's going to have its time, but you got to remember, Vechain was one of the coins that ran up pretty strong around the summer. So it's going to take a lot for this coin to become reinvigorated. And I actually want to do a video coming down the line about, is the bull run over for some of these coins? So I'm going to dive into that in a later video. So right now you can see Vechain bounce down here. It hasn't come all the way down to 1 cent again. It actually bounced before that. So I want to see Vechain perform a little bit better than this. Hopefully it can break to the upside of this if the market remains bullish. But let's not talk hopeful. Let's talk positive and negative. Okay, let's start with the negative. The negative is if you break out of this range, your target is down here, back below one penny at around 8.9% of a penny, where it pretty much bounced and turned bullish. So let me draw another lower line to show you that a little bit clearer. And also while I'm here, let me extend this previous lower trend line out, because you may find support here. You may not make it all the way down to 8.9% of a penny. You may bounce sooner right here at this line on this screenshot where I extended this line, okay? These things happen like that. That's why, sometimes you can draw these lines and you'll see the line being exceeded depending on the sentiment of the market. That's also another reason why I don't draw Fibonacci, or pull fib levels as well, because these coins are so sporadic that they can bounce at any moment. So the strategy set up for this is pretty much, like I said before, your zoning. All right, now I'll elaborate more on that on the Patreon, and I actually elaborated on it some in regards to Litecoin, and how Litecoin pretty much was an amazing setup for people to have plenty of time to get a lot of money in the market. So those are your targets right here on this screenshot. You've got 9.7% of a penny, and then below that you've got just below 9/10 of a penny, 90% of a penny. And let's talk about where the price could go now, because it's not looking very bullish for Vechain at the moment. Now, I zoomed back out here to the daily, and I've drawn these 3 white lines because these are areas of contention, right? Unfortunately for Vechain, because of this massive run up and such low demand really for the asset to really increase the price, it's going to be difficult not only to determine where you're going to be bullish for Vechain, but if you're going to start taking out investing on Vechain and start zoning on Vechain, I said previously that it's better to zone for one penny. And if you were zoning for 1 penny, then you're in profits right now. You're heading to the upside. If you're looking to get in, you want to wait for another pullback for Bitcoin, not financial advice. If you really want to, manage your risk to reward as far as getting into Vechain. Now, these areas of contention are important for Vechain to break to go back into extremely bullish conditions. Now, the reality of it is, it's going to take a lot of money to do so because Vechain has increased their market cap, and the demand, again, like I said before, right now for Vechain isn't very high. So, okay, let's look at the positive. Let me stop being negative, Nathan. Let's talk positive on this daily. All right, the positive is you're above 1 penny. That's the overall positive. So as long as you stay above 1 penny for the long term, you're bullish. All right. For the mid, if you go below 1 penny, you're midterm bearish. All right. So that's the bullish bearish aspect of Vechain at this point. Previously, my point about bullish bearish is more particular about entry, price entry. All right. So really, if you want to get in, ideally you will want to buy the breakout of the structure that I drew, the rising wedge that I drew. Okay, that's the safest bet. Not financial advice. You better learn how to set stop losses. I got a video on this channel learning how to trade, trading group, the whole shebang. You can go look that up if you're interested in learning Fibonacci, the RSI, and everything else, so you can learn how to get on some of these exchanges and plan out your entry and exit for investing in these coins. Overall, hey, I like Vechain. I love Vechain. I really like Vechain, and I said if Vechain comes down to that 7.5% of a penny, 0.7 of a penny area, that is a throw the Federal Reserve level, in my opinion, for a continued bull cycle run up for Vechain. It didn't get there, all right? It only came down as low as 8.9, so we got to be aware of that for when I made that statement. I still think Vechain, because we're not into 2021 yet, we can still get that 10 to 15 cent run up for Vechain, but I don't expect to see that strong of a run up from Vechain until the February-March timeline of next year. All right, let's move on to this whole Fibonacci and trading and stock RSI. Yes, I do use those things. Oversold, overbought, Fib. I do. All right, but the thing is this. I want this to be as easily digestible as possible for new people coming into the market. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I don't want it to be overly complex, so that it is very warming and welcoming for people to be able to embrace cryptocurrency and come into it and feel as though they want to take ownership and be responsible for it for themselves, So that's the reason why I don't try to go too crazy with it. I just want to point out ranges, draw some lines to give you guys perspective as why. So when you're reading it, it'll be easier for you to understand fib levels doing it this way because of that perspective that I'm giving to you guys. Like some people find that easier to digest. Some people just come to just take a look to see price ranges and zones that they may be able to get in or add more to their bag. Shout out to reserve rights. But all right, so that's that's pretty much it. Yes, I do use those things. I mean, look, watch this space because we're gonna have big things coming as far as the setup, streaming, and everything else in regards to scanning charts for new opportunities, because that's really what it's gonna be all about for us on the Patreon, scanning charts for new opportunities. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions or comments, request, all right? Let us know in the comment section about any request. You guys requested sushi. I gave it to you on a silver platter. All right, sushi is doing very well right now. Yearn Finance 1 and 2 is doing well. Like you asked about Litecoin, we got on that. Litecoin has been bullish. Litecoin's been bullish for a little while now. That was an easy one, to be honest. But if you have anything more specific, like challenges, because I definitely really like this 10K to 100K challenge. I really like this. You can DM us on Instagram at the.dollar.tree. I'm Sha. This is the Dollar Tree. And I'll see you guys in the next video. We're very close to 500 subscribers. So let me see how much engagement and likes we can get. And then I'll be prepping that Patreon for you guys. Yes, because we need to know how to make money in a down market and passive income from crypto. I'll see you guys in the next video.